Hi, this is Lynette Lewis. I'm sitting here on my front porch. It's a Sunday afternoon, a little bit hot today in Raleigh, North Carolina, but I'm excited to come to you and start a series that I'm calling Single in the City. I've actually talked on this topic a lot through the years and recently read a statistic that was so surprising to me when it said that 92 million Americans, adult Americans, are single. And so often we feel like we're the only one when we're the singles out there. But as we all know, there's a lot of us. And I say us because I was single until I was 42 years old. If you've followed any of the things I speak on or write about, then you know probably a little bit about my story. But I'm excited about the series, and in the coming weeks hope to bring you content that's going to really encourage your life if you're single. You may, if you're not single right now, you may know a lot of people that are, because those statistics are high, and so I hope that these will be an encouragement to you. I'm going to cover different topics that for me were very, very important and crucial things that as I look back on my years of singleness, that helped me really make it through with great success and joy and fulfillment. Not every day, certainly, but a lot of the time. So you'll be hearing different topics in the coming weeks, and I hope that you'll send me your questions and any ideas you have on topics that I can cover that will really make this series pertinent to you. What I wanted to do today as I get started is just share with you a little bit about my background so you'll know the context from which I speak. I honestly thought I would get married probably in my early 20s. I grew up thinking I really want a happy marriage. I played Barbie and Ken, and they were always married and had a child, and for me it was just part of my dream. It wasn't my only dream, but I really just thought it would happen for me in my 20s. So I get out of college. I actually kind of thought I'd meet him in college, and I didn't. So I get out of college, now I'm in my 20s, and I think, well, this will be okay. You know, I'll just work for a year or two. It'll be good to kind of live on my own and have my own career for a year or two. But surely by the time I'm 27 or 28, Mr. Right is going to come along. Well, he didn't. Meanwhile, the Mr. Rights for all my friends seemed to just be popping out of the woodwork. I mean, so many of my friends were meeting the men of their dreams and getting married. And of course, I was the bridesmaid, as you always hear, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. And then while I was thrilled for my friends, I was increasingly sad for myself. Sometimes it's really hard to be happy for other people when we see them living our dreams. And for me, I really went through a lot of that. Although I felt in my heart, surely my day is still going to come and it's going to happen for me. I wasn't all consumed with my desire for marriage. I was enjoying my career and kind of working my way through my early jobs. Some of them were more fulfilling than others, but it was a fun time. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to really enjoy this, and surely before long it'll be my turn. Well, now I got into my early 30s, and then I was into my mid-30s, and honestly, there were times when I just felt this sense of panic. What is wrong? Why is this not happening for me? I mean, I'm open, I'm trying to keep myself in a way that is attractive, take care of myself, be interesting and stimulating. You know how we do. We think that somehow if we fit the right formula, that it'll all work out perfectly, and it just wasn't happening for me. And honestly, there were times when I was so discouraged. I felt hopeless, lots of times. I felt even increasingly desperate. And then that bugged me because I never wanted to be one of those desperate women that just had to get married. And although I didn't really feel like that, certainly life was good in a lot of ways, I really did struggle with that feeling of hopelessness and how's this ever going to change? Well, I got into my late 30s, decided to take a job offer in New York City, moved to New York, and really when I got to New York it was actually a little bit easier because so many people are single in the city there. And we had lots of fun and met a lot of new girlfriends in particular, and guy friends who were my age and late 30s at that point and still single, so it really helped. But then when I was 40, or a little bit after that, I started attending a church in New York City and got to know a lot of people there, and over the next couple of years got to know the man who became my husband, Ron Lewis, and he was the pastor of that church, and when I was 42 we decided that it was time for us to really deepen our relationship, and we got married, so it's been great. But now that I reflect on all those years of singleness, there are just a handful of things that I've learned along the way that I really want to share with you, as I said, to encourage you. You know, hindsight's great. It's 2020. And as I look back on all those years, some of them really fruitful, others of them felt just like getting through and getting by. But I learned a handful of lessons that I think are really keys to being satisfied while we're single in the city or in the country or wherever we live. I think they're important truths and important things that really helped me along the way. So I hope you'll join us in the coming weeks as we share some of these topics, share them with your friends, If you're interested, tweet about them, send me notes, whatever you feel like doing, comment on my Facebook page, whatever is good for you. I would love to hear from you, and like I said, I relate to so much of what so many of us are going through and hope that I can bring you courage and help in the weeks to come.